pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this regularly scheduled meeting of Bowling Green City Council. Kay, would you please begin by calling the roll?
Osbacher.
Here.
Gavarone.
Here.
Gordon.
Here.
Jeffers.
Here.
McComber.
Here.
Roland.
Here.
Zanfordino.
Here.
The minutes from the regular meeting that was held on April 4th, 2016 were presented to council prior to this meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to these minutes?
Mr. President?
Yes.
I have one correction. I'm looking at the minutes under the section of council committee reports. And about 3/4 of the way through that section, it says, there's a sentence that says, McComber indicated that he did not want anyone to use a split vote on the levy as ammunition toward getting the levy passed. I think the word passed should be defeated.
Okay. So,
It's just the opposite of.
minor detail.
Thank you, Bob. Kay, would you please
And you
make...
didn't think anybody read those minutes, did you?
I read them.
Thank you. Are there any other additions or corrections? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as they will be corrected?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion passes. The minutes are corrected. Kay, do we have any correspondence this evening?
No correspondence.
Thank you. Moving into our official reports, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, members of council, and all assembled. I wish to begin my report this evening by calling on the chair of the city's Human Relations Commission, the Reverend Mary Jane Saunders of First Presbyterian Church, to make a special presentation this evening. And additionally, I'm going to ask all the members present, of course, of the city's Human Relations Commission to please come forward. I see Margaret Montague, I see Emily Monago, I see Eric. Eric and I have been together twice today. That was a wonderful program out there. Now, and most importantly, here I'm going to ask the members of the Bowling Green Middle School Builders Club to please come forward to receive this award. There are advisors there, members. And also, I know, let's see, where is Kathy Winnig right now? Oh my, see, I knew she'd be hiding back there, but she is the liaison with the Builders Club from Kiwanis, the Bowling Green Kiwanis Club. Kathy, you have to please come forward. So.
Only 18 years as a volunteer.
Just kind of spread out. You could, don't just, we can't block there.
Oh,
but,
that's fine, that's fine.
that's all right. No, you are fine. No, I'm being facetious here. They're accustomed to having people block their vision. No. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn the program over to the chair of the Human Relations Commission, Mary Jane Saunders.
Thank you.
Mary Jane, please.
Good evening. As many of you know, the Bowling Green Human Relations Commission is committed to promoting respect for diversity and also encouraging positive interactions among citizens of our city. And to that end, on occasion, sometimes quarterly, our commission presents the Honor Roll Award to individuals, organizations, or local businesses that we think meet, that we want to applaud for really their efforts to promote diversity, but also just to make our city a better place to live. And so it's a real pleasure to be able to present this award this evening to the Bowling Green Middle School Builders Club. And you're going to hear a little bit more about them, but I'm going to turn this over to Eric Radbaugh from the middle school, and he's going to tell you who's all here and then tell you about the organization.
The Builders Club is a service organization for middle school students and is part of the Kiwanis Group of Service Organizations. The 25-member club meets monthly and has developed projects to help the Bowling Green area community. The members of the Bowling Green Builders Club volunteer their time inside and outside of the school day. Recent activities include a food drive for the local food pantry, a sock drive for Hannah's Socks, and a Valentine's Day Candygram fundraiser for the animal shelter. They have also participated in Quanah's activities by helping with pancake breakfast, marching in the Bowling Green Holiday Parade, and serving as bell ringers for the Salvation Army. The Builders Club is led by student officers Nico Calderon, Haley Bradley, and Michaela Dingeldine, and is advised by Bowling Green Middle School teachers standing in front of you, Laura Johns and Rob Morgan, as well as Kathy Wenig, the Quanah's liaison for the Builders Club. And to talk a little bit about our advisors, Mrs. Laura Johns is in her first year as an advisor and is doing just an outstanding job. We are proud of her for stepping up into that leadership role. And Mr. Rob Morgan has been involved in the club for a number of years, in his words. Not exactly sure how many, but has been doing it for quite some time. And we are certainly proud of his leadership as well.
And so it is an honor, a pleasure to present you with the City of Bowling Green Human Relations Committee Honorable Award. And congratulations, and keep up the good work.
Kathy, dear. Here it is. Just two more very brief items here. One, this Wednesday, Municipal Administrator Treader and others from the staff will be attending the annual Tree City USA meeting for the Northwest Ohio in West Unity. For the 36th year in a row, Bowling Green will be recognized as one of the best cities in Ohio for managing and enhancing a tree preservation program, and for the 22nd consecutive year for new tree growth. So I really want to extend congratulations to Brian Kraft and your staff there. I know that you were all missing David Bieneman, who fled the coop here and is down in Hamilton, Ohio. Our loss is there, certainly their gain, and we hope he's doing well down there. But we really appreciate the leadership of your total division there and what you've done. Especially, you had some very, very challenging times this last year. And you did not age in the process, all right, Brian? Also, I just want to really emphasize the work of the city's tree commission, too. Are there any members of the tree commission here tonight by chance? I see at least one former member, but there may be others, too. But in any event, we all know that they work so diligently and working with Brian and his staff and the arborist in providing strong oversight and good professional insight into the work of our whole tree preservation and growth programs. And also, I should know just one additional thing. As you're looking ahead with your calendars, of course, as we should really be very mindful of, on Friday, April 29th is Arbor Day, and we'll be having some special celebrations in the community there. I know I'll be going out to one school with the staff and others and helping to plant a tree, as we do every year at one of the schools. And so we look forward to doing that on Friday, the April 29th, to celebrate this very important day that we like to rally around each and every year, and especially with the young people of our community, because it's a wonderful message about conservation and preservation. Also, I would like just to remind you that the State of the City report is scheduled to be held on Thursday, April 28th, beginning at 8 a.m. And once again, the event will be held at the Wood County District Public Library, and the doors will open at 7:30, and the program will end promptly at 9 o'clock. In addition to my providing an overview of the state of the city, the event will feature 5 or so mini reports on different aspects of the city, including not only we'll be hearing from the president of City Council, but also we'll be hearing from Municipal Administrator Lori Treader and Brian Bouchon about the city's financial standing and outlook, and touching on other topics. And Sue Clark, I know, is very enthusiastic about talking a little bit about economic development in the city of Bowling Green. And Sue, you'll be having a special mid-year luncheon this Thursday, right? Okay, we hope, we understand that's going to be very well attended, and look forward to hearing one of our friends from the Regional Growth Partnership who will be speaking on the international aspects of economic development in the state of Ohio and within this region and in the city of Bowling Green, because we certainly have some outstanding examples of international groups here in the community. But in any event, the state of the city, the event is open to the public, and so it begins at 8 o'clock. And at 9, and so we look forward to that event being very well attended. So, Mr. President, members of council, this concludes my report, unless you might have some questions of me.
Questions for Mayor Edwards? Very good.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Municipal Administrator, Ms. Treader.
Good evening again. In your packet for this council meeting, you have a piece of legislation which we think you may be introducing tonight about Oak Grove Cemetery, looking at the rates and the regulations on that. I want to apologize. I had told you I'd send you a comparative sheet on how Oak Grove stacks up against other communities, and I have not done that. I realized that just a moment ago as I was sitting here thinking, oh, I didn't send them that. So we will get that. Of course, we're only asking for one reading this evening, so there will be time between there. But we want to emphasize that those changes do not include a rate increase. The rate would be staying the same for a Bowling Green resident to buy a grave, that's remaining the same. There are some other adjustments for services and regulations, some things even like, for example, the hours of the cemetery that hadn't been codified before. Our goal in recommending these changes to council is to maintain Oak Grove to the high standards that we enjoy today. I certainly think that that cemetery is a source of pride for this community, and keeping it so and running it efficiently and effectively is, of course, one of our goals. Our Public Works Division does a terrific job at that, and so we appreciate your consideration of those regulation changes. Yesterday, I had the privilege of joining with several of you. I know Bruce and Mike and Daniel, you were there. If I missed any of the rest of you, I apologize. But I had the opportunity to represent the mayor at, it was called the Black Swamp Creation Care Celebration. And it was held at the Peace Lutheran Church here in Bowling Green. And the city of Bowling Green was awarded, let's see, it says, and wait, where's Neocles? Oh, he just left. Oh, here we're giving him attention. He presented the award to us, and it reads the following. Recognition to the City of Bowling Green by the Black Swamp Green Team and your community. The City of Bowling Green is recognized for moving ahead with the largest solar PV array by a municipal utility in all of Ohio. And we had Daryl Stockberger there, who, of course, works so closely with particularly this green team, and Brian O'Connell, our Director of Public Utilities, and members of the Utilities Board were invited as well. So we share with them. It's a privilege and an honor to work with those folks. They do such fantastic things for sustainability, and it was really neat to see yesterday. It was, various segments of the community were represented and showing and showcasing all of our strengths that we can all utilize in caring for our community, in paying attention to how we use energy and so forth. So that was a very nice afternoon. But 1 week before that, it was hard to believe that we had snow on the ground. Last Saturday, our cruise started in the early morning hours, and Brian, perhaps you're going to report on it, so I won't steal your thunder too much, but I do have to say something as municipal administrator, because when you have a day like that so quickly turned from, our guys are equipped for a snow event, the men and women of Public Works, they're out plowing, and all of a sudden, reports of limbs down, there are wires hanging, there's just all these things going on, somebody smelling smoke over here. And it's really a day like that you just start to see all these elements come together, and they just do such a fantastic job of responding. People have a need, and here these folks are out on a Saturday morning keeping our citizens safe, responding to the problem in the community. So always want to recognize them for a job well done, and of course our safety force is there as well in all of our utility departments. So the last thing for me is I'm actually going to yield the rest of my time. As I mentioned at our last meeting, Wendy Chambers is here with us from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, And as you are aware, she does an annual report to us, so we've asked her to spend a little bit of time with you. And I guess you can ask me any questions at the end, the tail end, or you can ask me now. It's up to you if you have any questions for me.
Questions for Lori?
All right, Wendy Chambers, please.
Council, nice to see everybody this evening and everybody else that is here. I am the Executive Director of the Convention and Visitors Bureau now for 15 years. Happy to say that because I do enjoy my job. I do love Bowling Green. Hashtag I love this town. Everybody start using it. We had a big celebration in the month of April. And I want to introduce some special people that are here with me tonight from my board of directors. Erlene Kilpatrick, who's been a long-time board member, is here. Wave, Erlene. And I have a couple, I have Sandy Rowland, of course, on the council. She's our city council rep. Happy to have Sandy, and you've been on for a couple years now, correct? And I would like to introduce a couple newbies. Everybody knows Kristen Otley with Parks and Rec. She is now one of our city representatives on the board. And then Todd McGee, who was sitting next to me, the new GM at the Falcon Plaza, Best Western. And he's a part of the Bishop family and is a new member to the board of directors and brings some young enthusiasm. So we're really happy to have Todd. The month of April has been a month of celebrations for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. We've introduced 2 new websites. The first website, of course, is our Bureau site, which we've had for a long time, but we just upgraded it. It is visitbgohio.com or .org, so you can find us either direction. So get on that new site and take a look of all the things that we offer when visitors are looking to come to Bowling Green. We also have a new community website called WBGU-TV.com. And this was actually in the Sentinel Tribune tonight, if you haven't read your paper yet this evening. But it's all about a one-stop shop for this community. When you're planning an event, you should be going to this calendar to see or make sure that there's not 10 other things going on that night. Let's pick a free night for that event. Let's get as much attendance as we can. If you're planning something to come to Bowling Green, where you might need some hotel rooms that evening or that weekend, we need to make sure what else is going on in town that we don't book it the same weekend. It's also going to be a wonderful one-stop for specials at a restaurant. Maybe you want to find out where you want to eat that night, and you can go on and look and see who's got a special that evening. The same with shopping. Maybe there's an open house or a special sale. So it's going to be a one-stop for everybody to find what's going on in Bowling Green, Ohio. Not just the community, but also our visitors. It's the calendar that 10 different founding sponsors are using on their websites as well as their community calendars. And I'm going to just thank those 10 sponsors because they all contributed to the beginning of this community calendar and interactive map. BG Parks and Recreation, the City of Bowling Green, the Wood County Public Library, BG City Schools, Bowling Green Economic Development, First Federal Bank, of course, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Wood County Park District, and the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce, as well as Bowling Green State University. And they are now going to be importing their, what they would call community-friendly and visitor-friendly events into the calendar as well. So if you haven't downloaded the app yet, and yes, that's the final piece, an app, download it on your phone. It's in the app stores right now through Android and iPhone. So please be a part of that. And if you are a business in Bowling Green, it doesn't matter what kind of a business you are, you want people to get on that interactive map and find your front door, you need to be a part of this program. So get in touch with the Convention and Visitors Bureau and we'll give you all the details. We're also celebrating our new visitors guide, and we always do a visitor guide every year. But this particular year, we are celebrating 50 years of the National Tractor Pull. 50 years. That is outstanding. So we gave them the cover. And we did the same thing a few years back when the Black Swamp was celebrating 20 years. So we are happy to have those visitor events that bring 60 to 80,000 people to town that shop in the restaurants, stay in our lodging facilities, eat in the restaurants, and use everything that our community has to offer. We're also celebrating our annual report. It is available on our website. I brought a few copies tonight, but if you'd like to go on our website, visit bgohio.org and take a look at the annual report. We have put on the inside some of the accomplishments throughout the year. And of course, one of the things that we were very happy about this year was the second time that we hosted the Great Ohio Bicycle Adventure just in the last 10 years, because this particular report is also celebrating 10 years of the Convention and Visitors Bureau's accomplishments. It was kind of fun for me to do this, to go back and see all the things that we have accomplished in the last 10 years. We were under the umbrella of the Chamber of Commerce to start for the first 20-something, and then have been on our own now for 10. And it's really nice to go back and see what we've accomplished. And having said that, I want to thank the council. I want to thank the Bowling Green City and Bowling Green Council for being willing to fund us through the hotel motel tax all these years to be able to do and bring all the visitors that we have brought to town. So thank you. Any questions for me?
Questions for Wendy?
Wendy, the calendar you were referring to, is that easy to find on our city website?
It should be linked on the city website. Is it at this point? You'll check on that? It should be on the city website, yes. Everybody that was a founding sponsor is using this calendar on their website. And it's a new program. We've been working on this for the last couple years. And the calendar piece got put in place last year, as well as the interactive map. The actual app piece just got completed in April. So it's a work in progress. Bear with us, but everybody should be using this as their calendar, yes.
Great, thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
A lot of great things going on. Appreciate the hard work of you and your group. Planning Director, Ms. Saylor. Questions for Heather? Thank you. Parks and Recreation Director, Ms. Otley.
Good evening. It's allergies, so you're okay. So I injured myself on these earlier this evening. Please be careful. This paper cuts. But despite that, I will give you all each your own copy. Be careful. You've been warned. Of the summer brochure. Those are out and about around town. Those are also an electronic version of that is on our website, as well as actually that was emailed out to the schools. So the information is out. Summer is coming. Resident registration for the majority of kind of our major summer programs begins on May 2nd, and non-residents can register on May 16th. So that does mean at like 12:01 a.m. people can start registering online, and they do. So plan out your summer and sign up with us. Let's see, what else? Building on Nature project. There's been some progress since the last council meeting. I did not print out pictures today, but it does look like a building, and they are on schedule because they do need to be done by early June. So we are excited about that. And we have started, now that that project is underway and we're pretty certain of the cost of that, we have started getting together with Pogemeyer Design Group, who did the initial initial planning of the whole project, and looking at what kind of renovations can take place for phase 2 of that project with the money that we will have left. So we look forward to moving forward with that. We did send out a letter to anyone who had donated, 200 different folks, anyone who had donated to that project, giving them an update, and those were received on Saturday-ish. I know I got mine on Saturday. So with mail, you never know. I'll put on my Bike Safety Commission hat and just let you know that our bicycle spokesperson of the year, the pun is intended, and it has been for 16 years. Our bicycle spokesperson of the year applications are out. They look like this. So if anyone is interested, there are some in the hallway. I believe that is on the website as well. So, and as well as out and around in places where people might be interested in this, like Cycle Works and the Head of the Trail, etc. So please, if you know of anyone, it explains on here more about it. The community focus group meetings have been going well. We've had 2 so far, and had a great crowd last week. We have another one this Wednesday. They are all at 7 o'clock at the community center. Again, childcare is provided, so really no reason to not come. Those who have come have been treated to candy if they so chose. So, and this Wednesday's is, let's see, fitness, aquatics, and events. The two that we've had so far are youth programming and natural area parks. And then we will have two in May, on May 11th and the 18th. May 11th is active parks, and May 18th is future directions, kind of a SWOT analysis. So again, three more of those to go. And the only other thing I have is I will remind you, I mentioned it a couple council meetings ago, of the 50+ Health and Wellness Expo. And that is next Wednesday, April 27th from 10 to 1 at the Community Center. Very exciting new event. And what's really cool about it is all the partnerships that are involved. Just real briefly, the Wood County Committee on Aging, BGSU Gerontology, Wood County Hospital, the Wood County Health District, and then, of course, Bowling Green Parks and Recreation. So lots of cool activities going on, a speaker, some vendors. And so if you are 50 or older, please come on out. So that's all I have, unless you have questions.
Questions for Kristen?
I made an observation at City Park a couple times early in the morning walking my dog. I saw a deer the other day. That's no big deal, but I saw something I just couldn't hardly believe it. At 6:15 in the morning, there were 2 skaters at the skate park.
Yeah. Ahead of school. Hopefully they went to school, but yeah. If there's not ice on that skate park, it is used year round. That really is a very, very heavily used project. That was really, really cool several years ago when we got that $10,000 grant from the Tony Hawk Foundation. So, yeah. And Sandy might have been concerned that the $1,000 cash prize wasn't found in the egg scramble. The $100 prize was found. Yeah. They didn't get all the eggs, but they did find the cash prizes. So
I was worried.
That did go on. We had 64 people in the heavily snow-covered egg scramble. So lots of fun. Maybe next year it won't be snow-covered. We'll see.
Thank you. City Attorney, Mr. Marsh. Thank you. Questions for Mike? Thanks. Utilities Director, Mr. O'Connell. Not with us tonight.
I apologize, I should have said this. Actually, Mr. O'Connell and both the fire chief are not here this evening because they are out visiting with the Center Township trustees. Oh, did you get here, Tom? Your part was over first. Okay, well, Tom snuck in on me. I'm so observant. Mr. O'Connell is meeting with the Center Township trustees to discuss the solar project, actually.
Oh, good. Very good. Thank you. Public Works Director, Mr. Kraft.
Good evening. I have quite a list of things here to go over. Yeah, it was strange having the snow forecast on Friday. Went from 3 to 5. We kind of thought, yeah, sure. And then went from 4 to 6. Then we're like, man, this is really going to happen. We had our trucks ready to go. Came about 7:30 that night, and I was in until about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and it was just mostly slushy and wet, and thought no big deal. And I went to bed about 2 o'clock, and it was just coming down like crazy. I couldn't stay up any longer. And then I got up at 6, and the guy said we got hammered from 2 to 6. It just came down heavy. No wind. Of course, you probably saw the trees full of the heavy snow. And we were having 7 plows at a time stepping the snow off from North Main and East Wooster. And pretty soon you heard scanner traffic and calls in of limbs down over the road, wires down over the road. And then we pulled people off and started clearing out limbs, and pretty much had to go out and scout around to see where things were. It was almost happening as the sun was coming up. I assume it started to melt a little bit and got a little heavier even. So we pulled out about 2 o'clock on Saturday and thought we'd have a couple days of brush cleanup. And here we are picking up brush all last week, and we had people call in through Friday this week. We got through Ward 1 today. We just pretty much decided just the best thing to do is just drive each ward. There's so many calls come in, and I appreciate the people letting us know where the calls or the brush was. Unbeknownst to us, driving out front, there's a lot of damage in the backyards. And, in 2009, I think we went from 2 brush collections to 1. And this is really one of those things where when you can see the damage throughout the whole city that you feel you really have to help out and do something. And I appreciate the people that limited the brush is just storm-related. It was a storm-related brush collection for the most part. People done a really good job with that. So we should get through that this week and start transitioning to some other things that you normally do in the spring. So a couple other things going on. Our South Main Gypsy Lane intersection project was bid out, and Geddes Paving was the sole bidder and the only bidder. And the contracts are signed with Geddes Paving to do improvements at South Main Gypsy Lane. Primarily, it would add a turn lane on the East Gypsy leg, but it will also make the signal much more like the ones on North Main and Wooster, where it'll have the battery backups for the signal. We'll have the street name signs up on the mast arms. No longer will it have the dangling wire with about 7 or 8 signals swaying in the wind. It'll be LED, PED signals, ADA improvements, and some tapered improvements on the lanes approaching that intersection. That should happen this summer. As we get a pre-construction meeting, I'll let you know what the exact dates are. The Clough 3rd Street water line is still going on. The water lines, the mains are in the ground. We're tapping services in as we speak on 3rd Street. We'll eventually get back over to Clough Street, get that wrapped up here soon, and get the sidewalks and street put back together. Continuing on the road theme, Columbia Gas has returned to do the portion from last year. They're going to be working on West Evers and Grove and Conneaut, getting both streets and sidewalks and lawns repaired. So if anybody feels they got missed, make sure you let us know. We'll pass that on to Columbia Gas, but they're in earnest doing that. While the other crew is in on the other side of North Main, continuing with I think they got most of the gas mains in. Now it's a matter of getting the services into the homes, much like last year. Tree planting is happening this week. If you see little white flags in people's right-of-way, and we had OOPS called in to make sure we're not hitting any utilities. Tree planting will happen this week and next week by North Branch Nursery. Over 100 trees will get planted here in that time period. If you see any action in front of the police department, and they were out there today in the front yard, the Bowling Green Police Division and the Public Works Division are each going to get an LED informative sign. Our sign literally was falling over and constant going out and changing it for events. We think this is a good way of getting the word out of what's going on at Public Works, maybe with our cleanups and leaf collections, those sorts of things. A lot of people comment that they get a lot of their information just driving by on Poe Road, what's going on in the police department, much the same way. So if we have a snow emergency, for example, we could go right online and put that right out on the sign that we're in a snow emergency, that sort of thing. So it'll be kind of long-term things, but maybe things that come about fairly quickly. We could spread the word on those message boards. I think I've covered all my topics. Oh, one more thing. BG Soccer Challenge is coming up, not this weekend, but the next weekend. So April 29th through May 1st. We're working with the BG Police Department and the tournament director, Arnold Zirkus, along with BGSU to make sure that traffic moves out there. It gets quite congested in the morning, especially as games get going, but that'll be April 29th through May 1st. So we're working with them on that. That's my report.
Questions for Brian? Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brian. Good job.
Thanks.
That concludes our official reports. We will move forward with the introduction of new legislation.
Mr. President,
Mr. McComber.
from the Finance Committee, I have a resolution transferring previously appropriated funds. I have a resolution declaring the amount of taxes that may be raised by levy at the maximum rate authorized by law without a vote of the electors to be insufficient, and declaring the necessity of a levy in excess of such rate of 2.0 mils for parks and recreation purposes for the city of Bowling Green, Ohio, Wood County, Ohio. I have an ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2016 and ending December 31, 2016. I have an ordinance amending and adopting section 33.01 of the codified ordinances of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio regarding salary schedule established. And I have an ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator and utilities director to sell obsolete items no longer needed for municipal purposes by public auction.
Thank you, Bob.
Mr. President,
Mr. Jeffers.
from the Planning, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee, I have an ordinance accepting an easement for right-of-way purposes from the Christian and Missionary Alliance of Bowling Green, Ohio.
you, Bruce. I have two ordinances from the Public Utilities Committee. An ordinance enacting and adopting the 2016 S8 supplement to the Code of Ordinances for the City of Bowling Green, Ohio, and an ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to accept utility easements located on in-lots number 7192 and 7193 from American Title Agency Incorporated, and to vacate certain easements located on in-lots number 7191 and 7192 on Meadowlark Lane.
Mr. President?
Ms. Charters?
Yes, I have an ordinance from the Public Lands and Buildings Committee. It's an ordinance amending and adopting Chapter 91 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio regarding the cemetery.
Thank you, Teresa. Do we have any council committee reports this evening?
Mr. President,
Mr. Gordon?
due to scheduling conflicts, I'd like to reschedule our meeting of the Community Improvement Committee, where we will look at the proposed changes to Chapter 94, regulating refuse collection, to May 16th at 6 p.m. That's all right, Kay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's May 16th
May 16th.
at 6.
6 p.m.
Great. Thank you, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other committee reports this evening?
Well, Mr. President, we did have a meeting of the whole earlier tonight regarding the Pogemeyer design for the Bowling Green, the green space over there at the site of the former junior high. And we're going to be looking forward to a public meeting that will provide additional public input, and looking forward to getting the information that was presented tonight on the city website.
Great. Thank you, Teresa. I know we're all anxious to get that information up and give citizens an opportunity to review that and better understand it, in the hopes that we can have a productive public hearing in the very near future. So we really look forward to your input on that. Any additional council committee reports? Seeing none, we will move forward to lobby visitation. At this point, we welcome anyone in attendance that is interested to speak to City Council to do so at this time. If you're interested, we ask that you approach the microphone and clearly state your name and address for the record. Is there anyone that would like to speak with council this evening?
Good evening. My name is Damian Womack, and I stay at 212 South Prospect here in Bowling Green. And this is my cousin, Antron Moore.
I stay at 212 South Prospect also.
Welcome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us here this evening. The reason why we are here is we are attempting to spread stroke awareness in the community. My cousin here is he's from Chicago. I'm from Detroit. But I've been in this community since 1999. I graduated from BGSU in 2004 with my degree in business. He went to University of Maine, Augusta. He does a lot of community activism, and he's involved with the Stroke Association, the Heart Association, things like that in Maine. And he is transferring that energy from Maine to this community. The reason why it hits so close to home is because those particular things run in our family. A lot of us are not aware of our family history, and we just go through our everyday life just not paying attention. Like, we just need that awareness. Over 130,000 people die from strokes every year. That's 1 in 20. If you look around this room, there's more than 20 people in here right now. Over 700,000 people have a stroke each year. Over 600,000 of those people are first-time stroke sufferers. So if you do the math, that's every 4 minutes someone will be a casualty of stroke. If you look at this man right here, this is my family. I've known him my entire life. We've always bonded. But I'm here to let you know that this man that stands before you had a massive hemorrhage stroke when he was in his 30s. Wave to the people, Antron. Say hello.
Hey.
Use the left side. Okay. So, what's remarkable about that? When he had his massive hemorrhage stroke, basically the doctors saw him as a lost cause. Basically, they said that he would never walk or talk again. They said he might be a vegetable. And here he is standing before you. This man is able to run up and down a basketball court. He's able to lift his arms. He's able to say hello. He's able to look at you in the eye and say hello and smile at you, which is remarkable. He started 2 AAU basketball teams. Like I said, he's a community activist. He's active in the community. And the most remarkable thing about that to me is he's done a lot of these things after his disability. Right now, he's a disabled man. But if you look at him, you can never tell, ever. Because he's a survivor. He's a warrior. He fights. Recently, a close friend of ours, she suffered a minor stroke. Why is this important? It's because it happened 10 days after her 21st birthday. So just let that sink in for a second. 21. What were you doing when you were 21? I know what I was doing. I was working out. I was running up and down the court. I was enjoying my time at BGSU, hanging out with my friends. And now this person has to worry about, am I going to be the same ever again? The answer is no. So why is this important for our community? Because it's important because there are very few resources for people like that here. She had to go to UTMC in order to get care. She felt alone. She's scared. You know, this is still fresh. It's been 3 years for him. Look at him after 3 years, after a massive hemorrhage stroke. She's gone through a minor stroke. So basically the message I'm trying to convey to each and every one of you is, you know, we are 2 people trying to make a difference in this community. We don't want people to feel like they have nowhere to turn, like they have no resources. You know, this is a growing community. This is a community, obviously I love it because, you know, I haven't left. You know, I'm not from here, but you know what? I'm a part of this community. And, you know, Antron was, you know, I told him to come. He was happy to be a part of this community as well. And so it's with my hope that, you know, this community gets behind us and tries to raise the awareness, you know, for people that are going through similar situations. Like I said, they'll never be the same, but you know what? There can be hope. There can be an outlet. You know, we just want to give them a voice. We want to give each and every one of the people that are suffering in silence a voice. So with that being said, did you want to add anything else?
Yeah. I also want to add that those 2 ladies right there, if you could please stand up for a second.
That's right, you're not safe.
Yes. These 2 ladies right here have really been helping me out. When I first got up here, I was looking for an outlet, you know, just to, you know, help myself because every day it's a struggle still. But with these ladies' help, I started walking. It's called Heart Association, me and my cousin. And it's every month. And it's just beneficiary for me as being disabled. I'm so honored to know these women. And also, you know, I just want to give thanks to the mayor because I reached out to him and he just was with open arms and his secretary was with open arms. And I just want to tell Bowling Green thank you because it's real hard for me to, you know, just comprehend and interpret a lot of things. But I'm a walking testimony, and not only that, what we doing, I also have a book that just came out. It's called A Walking Testimony, and I have been working on this for 3 years, and I had so many people that try to manipulate me and tell me that I couldn't do it, but with a higher power, you can do anything. Anything's possible. And that's why I'm down here, because my cousin, he's so intelligent, as you can see. It's just, you can sit down now, ladies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, you know, we came up, we just wanted to tell y'all what we was doing in the community. We don't want to waste a lot of time because we know y'all got things to go on. But thank you for having us. Mayor, do you have anything else to add?
Not at all. Antron, this is an unbelievable, compelling story. He was a professional basketball player, and he's traveled all over Europe, and he's been throughout the United States. He's worked with youth groups, and I just wish him all the very best. He told me his story. It's a very compelling story. And also Daniel here, he didn't talk about himself really, but we're all very excited about the new Kroger store and its expansion and so forth. He's one of the managers of the Bowling Green Kroger. So you can check on him out there and the developments that are coming along pretty soon, this whole team. But thank you both very much.
And one more thing. We have a website, if you all can write this down, it's,
The website is www.whatdoidesire.com. We are also on your major social media outlets. Just check us out and just see what we're doing and what we're trying to do in this community, and possibly, you know, expand with it. So we just thank you for hearing us out. I mean, this is truly, truly an honor. You know, we just came in here, you know, we didn't really prepare something. This is just something that's just inside of us. And like I said, you know, he you know, strokes damage your brain, and this man, you know, he's incredible. He pushes me beyond measures. You know, he's doing things that fully able-bodied, fully minded people are. He's pushing the limits. He's going far beyond, and so that's why we feel like this is a very important issue that at least, you know, we, with the hope that we all take a hard look at it. You know, we look at cancer, you know, we look at the heart, you know, we have different things, but, you know, strokes are the #1 silent killer, and, you know, it kind of goes unnoticed. So it's, like I said, it's with my hope that, you know, we all take a hard look at it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for coming this evening and sharing with us. It really is an inspiring story, and we're really thankful that you're here in our community. I mean, it really is. It's a very important issue, and we're really thankful for the fact that you're willing to share and help, potentially help other people in our community. So thank you again so very much. If there's anything that the city could do, I'm sure or other organizations within the community could do to help you support your mission, I'm sure that there are others that would be more than willing to do so. So please don't be shy in reaching out and asking for assistance. Thanks so much. Are there others in attendance this evening who would like to speak to council?
I'm Margaret Montague, and I live at 211 Willowwood Circle. And I wanted to just say tonight, we've talked about the green space, and I'll save other comments for when we do have the public thing. But it was really a wonderful experience on Saturday when we had the ad hoc picnic there. And, you know, it just made me think about when there was a response to, you know, some of us felt strongly about the open carry issue, which was legal. I think our city handled that so well. But there was the spirit of that place is what came out to me. It was like, that's where we need to go. And when the Charleston massacres happened, that's where we needed to go. And so I just want to thank the city for their response to that weekend and to share how it felt as a citizen to be able to gather in that space where we shared the values that we all deemed important for us in those moments. And it was the place we went to, and it wasn't imposed upon by any other buildings. What struck me was we were surrounded by our historic police station, the historic Allman House. We could see the city building from there. We could see the library. These buildings of our past and our present that are important to us. So I just wanted to share that space was a very special experience. And some of you.
Thank you, Margaret. Are there others? Okay, we're going to move forward with the reading of legislation.
Legislation for first reading. Resolution number 3626 for first reading. Resolution transferring previously appropriated funds.
Mr. President,
Mr. McComber,
I move to give Resolution 3626 its second and third reading, suspend the rules.
Second.
it's moved and seconded. Kay, would you call the roll, please?
Gavarone?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Jeffers?
Yes.
McComber?
Yes.
Roland?
Yes.
Zanfordino?
Yes.
Osbacher?
Yes. The motion passes. The rules are suspended for Resolution 3626.
Resolution number 3626 for second and third reading. Resolution transferring previously appropriated funds.
Mr. President,
Mr. McComber,
I move to approve Resolution 3626.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Kay, would you please call the roll?
Gordon?
Yes.
Jeffers?
Yes.
McComber?
Yes.
Roland?
Yes.
Zanfordino?
Yes.
Osbacher?
Yes.
Gavarone?
Yes.
The motion passes. Resolution 3626 is adopted.
Resolution number 3627 for first reading, resolution declaring the amount of taxes that may be raised by the levy at the maximum rate authorized by law without a vote of the electors to be insufficient, and declaring the necessity of a levy in excess of such rate of 2.0 mils for parks and recreation purposes for the city of Bowling Green, Wood County, Ohio. Ordinance number 8508 for first reading, ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2016 and ending December 31, 2016.
Mr. President,
Mr. McComber,
move to suspend the rules and give Ordinance 8508 its second and third readings.
Second.
it's moved and seconded. Kay, would you please call the roll?
Jeffers?
Yes.
McComber?
Yes.
Roland?
Yes.
Zanfordino?
Yes.
Osbacher?
Yes.
Gavarone?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
The motion passes. The rules are suspended for Ordinance 8508.
Ordinance number 8508 for second and third reading, ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2016 and ending December 31, 2016.
Mr. President,
Mr. McComber,
I move to adopt Ordinance 8508.
Second.
it's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Kay, would you please call the roll?
McComber?
Yes.
Roland?
Yes.
Zanfordino?
Yes.
Osbacher?
Yes.
Gavarone?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Jeffers?
Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance 8508 is adopted.
Ordinance number 8509 for first reading, ordinance amending and adopting Section 33.01 of the codified ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio regarding salary schedule established. Ordinance number 8510 for first reading, ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator and the utilities director to sell obsolete items no longer needed for municipal purposes by public auction. Ordinance number 8511 for first reading, ordinance accepting an easement for right-of-way purposes from the Christian and Missionary Alliance of Bowling Green, Ohio. Ordinance number 8512 for first reading, ordinance enacting and adopting the 2016 S8 supplement to the Code of Ordinances for the City of Bowling Green, Ohio.
I move to suspend the rules and give Ordinance 8512 its second and third readings.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Kay, would you please call the roll?
Roland?
Yes.
Zanfordino?
Yes.
Osbacher?
Yes.
Gavarone?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Jeffers?
Yes.
McComber?
Yes.
The motion passes. The rules are suspended for Ordinance 8512.
Ordinance number 8512 for second and third reading, ordinance enacting and adopting the 2016 S8 supplement to the Code of Ordinances for the City of Bowling Green, Ohio.
I move to approve Ordinance 8512.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Just as means of explanation, this ordinance is simply adopting Bowling Green's ordinances with the state ordinances, so we're just becoming consistent. Kay, would you please call the roll?
Zanfordino?
Yes.
Osbacher?
Yes.
Gavarone?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Jeffers?
Yes.
McComber?
Yes.
Roland?
Yes.
The motion passes. Ordinance 8512 is adopted.
Ordinance number 8513 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to accept utility easements located on in-lots number 7192 and 7193 from American Title Agency Incorporated and to vacate certain easements located on in-lots number 7191 and 7192 on Meadowlark Lane. Ordinance number 8514 for first reading. Ordinance amending and adopting Chapter 91 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio regarding the cemetery. Legislation for second reading. Resolution number 3625 for second reading. Resolution adopting the Bowling Green Fire Division Standards of Cover for 2016. Legislation for third reading. Ordinance number 8503 for third reading. Ordinance authorizing the sale or disposal of former transit service vehicles by the municipal administrator as no longer necessary for municipal purposes.
Mr. President,
Mr. McComber.
move to adopt ordinance 8503.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, would you please call the roll?
Osbacher?
Yes.
Gavarone?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Jeffers?
Yes.
McComber?
Yes.
Roland?
Yes.
Zanfordino?
Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance 8503 is adopted. That concludes the items on our agenda. Is there any other business to come before council this evening? Seeing none, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
It's moved and
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We are adjourned.